Welcome back, dear students and friends. We were discussing chapter number 8, and in chapter number 8, we have discussed various human disorders like typhoid, malaria, AIDS, cancer, common cold. Even we have also learned how to fight against that disease, or what is a system of a body that helps to fight against that disease, that is immunity. We have also discussed it. We have also started with the alcohol and drug abuse. We have also discussed in that what is that something that is lead to a abuse in an adolescent age. Now today we have to learn what are the effects of this alcohol and drug abuse. When someone consumes it or when someone takes it, what are the possible effects of this alcohol and drug abuse? So let's start with the effects of alcohol and drug abuse, the effects. Okay, so we will today discuss the effects of drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, when someone starts to take or consume a drug, the immediate effect of that drug is going to be observed in that. Here we will discuss what are the harmful effects of this alcohol and the drug abuse. So when we see the immediate effect of this alcohol and drug abuse are as follows. These are the immediate effects. What are the immediate effects? The immediate effect is there is a change in behavior, and then you can say that reckless behavior is observed. Okay. Second one is you can also observe the vandalism, and even the person becomes a violence, so you can also observe the violence. These are the immediate effects of drug and alcohol abuse. When a person starts to consume a drug, when the person takes a drug, the immediate effect of this is going to be observed in him or her, like reckless behavior, vandalism, and the violence. Okay. Now, if the overdose occurs, this is the overdose. Okay. In a overdoses, when the person continue to get this drug, the drug is associated with it some kind of a perceived benefits. The person continue to take drugs, and when it becomes in an overdose, then it may leads to a coma, and it may also leads to a death. Okay. So this is observed coma, and even it may also leads to a death. It may also produces the death. The death may be due to a three reasons. The three common reasons by which the death may occur in a person who are taking these drugs in an overdose. It may be due to a respiratory failure, means the respiratory system becomes a fail. Okay, there is a stoppage of respiration. It may be a cardiac failure, means the heart failure. You can say that in common language it can also be called as heart failure, or it may be due to a cerebral hemorrhage, means what we are commonly calling it as brain hemorrhage. Okay, so these are the three possible reasons due to which a death may also occur. Okay, so this is the immediate effects of the alcohol and drug abuse: reckless behavior, vandalism, and violence. If the drug has been taken in overdose, then it may produces the coma and the death. The death may be due to a respiratory failure or cardiac failure, or it may be due to a cerebral hemorrhage. That means a brain hemorrhage. Okay. Sometimes what happens? The drug that is going to be taken in a combination of drug, means more than two drugs they are taken simultaneously, like opioids and cannabinoids, or they mix two drugs, opioids and cocaine, or cannabinoids and cocaine, or barbiturates and opioids. When more than two drugs they are using simultaneously, then it may also leads to a death. Okay. Sometimes what happens, the person is taking a drug, and along with the drug they are also taking a tobacco, either in form of smoking or chewable form. So the effect of a drug, they becomes exaggerated. Okay, the effect becomes too large when two drugs they are getting mixed, or the person is taking a drug and along with the drug they are taking a alcohol. Okay, so the combination of drugs or drugs and alcohol, or you can say a drugs and tobacco, that is very dangerous because it exaggerates the response and exaggerates the effect, and that may also leads to a death. Okay, and the death may be due to any of these three reasons may going to occur. Okay, so this is the immediate effect and the overdose effect of a drug, and along with that, when the drug that is going to be used in a combination, these are the effects are observed. Okay, now how could you come to know that the person has started to take a drug? Okay, so there are certain signs that is observed particularly in the adolescent age group, which indicates that the person has started to consume drugs and the alcohol. So let's see what are the possible signs that suggest that the person has started to abuse a drug. So let's see. So what are the signs? The common signs, the signs of drug abuse. By you can have a judgment or a doubt that the person has started to consume a drug. So what are the signs? First signs, there is a change, or you can say a drop or decrease in academic performance, particularly in the adolescent age group. Clear? Due to a consumption of a drug, the academic performance is going to be decreased, or there is a drop. Okay, if the person has a capacity to get an 80%, but if that same person starts to consume a drug, from 80%, the person might have just a 60%. So there is a drop in academic performance. Second one is, it's a unexplained or unnecessary absence from college or school. This is obviously is going to be happen because they are going to consume a drug or abuse a drug, and so that's why they are bunking the classes, bunking the colleges, and so that's why they have an unexplained absences without any reason. They be absent in the classes. Okay, so this is the unexplained, the absence from colleges and the school. Okay, next, the another sign you can observe in the person which is abusing a drug or which has started to abuse a drug, that is a lack of interest in the society, or lack of interest in hobbies. Suddenly their hobbies becomes a non-important. Okay, there is a lack of interest. Okay, it may also produces the depression. It may also produces fatigue. Okay, so these are the signs which are going to be observed, or it may also produces the withdrawal. It may also produces isolation. These are the effects are going to be observed: depression, fatigue, withdrawal, and isolation. That is going to be observed. Okay. Next, apart from that, the other effects which is going to be observed, who has started to consume a drug, or other sign which is going to be observed in the person like this. The another effect is that there is a change in behavior. Okay, towards the family members, the relatives, and the friends. Okay, the person becomes so aggressive. વાતે વાતે એવું થાય કે અકળાઈ જાય. બરાબર છે? So there is a change in behavior. There is a sudden change in a behavior. Okay, that is might going to be occur or reported in the person who has started to consume a drug. Okay. Next, the another effect which is going to be observed in that, there is a change in eating and a sleeping habit. Okay, this is also going to be observed. Okay, there is a change in eating and sleeping habit because that daily schedule is going to be disturbed. due to this. Okay, there is also a change in a weight or sudden weight gain due to unexplained reason. That is also one of the signs that indicates a person might have involved into a drug abuse. Particularly, these are the signs they are going to be observed into an adolescent age group. Okay, so I just list out what are the usual signs that is observed into a person who are consuming a drug. A drop in academic performance, unexplained absences from the schools and the colleges. There is a lack of interest in their hobbies, okay, or the families, relatives and society. They are not taking any kind of interest in the activities which are going on around them. It may produce the depression, fatigue, withdrawal and isolation. Apart from that, there is a sudden change in the behavior towards that family, relatives and friends. There is a change in eating and sleeping habits. Weight gain, a sudden weight gain without any reason might going to be occurred. So these are the possible signs which indicates that the person has started to consume a drug. Okay, so you have to remember these are the effects which is going to be observed in such kind of a person. Now, so what we have discussed? We have discussed what are the immediate effects of drugs and alcohol abuse. If the overdose occurs, then what it may lead to, and how you can come to that the person might have started to use the alcohol and the drugs. Okay. Now, the another thing which is going to be happen, person who are taking the drugs with help of an injections. There are many drugs which are taken with the help of an injection. You might have seen in movies, they are taking the drugs with the help of an injections. Like for an example, in case of opioids. Opioids can be taken by an injections. In that case, the needle which is used by that person or abuser might going to be used by a number of people. That means if that needle becomes infected and that infected needle is used by a number of people, the chances of infection is very high and it spreads from one person to another person. The diseases like the AIDS, hepatitis B, that spreads due to a use of infected needles and the syringes. Okay, the infected needles and the syringes, the use of it or repeated use of this infected needles and the syringes may lead to an AIDS and hepatitis. Okay, and you know that these are the diseases, they are even fatal in nature, means it may cause a death also. So this is another side effect which is going to be occur with the use of drugs and the alcohol. Okay. Apart from that, what happens? Now they have started to take a drug, they have started to abuse a drug or alcohol. But to purchase this alcohol or to buy this alcohol and the drug, they need a money. In the age group of adolescent, they don't have much sources of income. Okay, so what they do? They go in some wrong way. They start to steal money from either families, or they started to steal the jewelry from the families, friends and relatives, or they borrow money from someone. So what happens? Due to that, the person go in a wrong way. The person has entered into a stealing, and slowly the person has entered into some kind of an illegal activities. This kind of activity is such that from the illegal activity, it is not easy to come out. It takes a lots of efforts, and that may not ruin the life of the person who is abusing a drug. That may also ruin the life or damages the life of the family also. Because when the person borrows the money or steals the money, the reputation of that family that also gets damaged. And this is a very far-reaching implications. When the due to this drug or alcohol abuse, the person may enter into some kind of illegal activities. Okay, so that may also occur with the use of alcohol and the drug. Okay, now another one, like you know that when the person starts to consume alcohol, in adolescent age. Okay, adolescent age. You know the meaning to adolescent age. It's a 12 to 18 years of age is called as an adolescent age. The same person, when it becomes an adult, then this habit of consumption of alcohol is converted into a heavy drinking. In adulthood, it converts to a heavy drinking. And when the heavy drinking has been started, then it may lead to a damage to central nervous system, CNS, like brain, that is going to be damaged, and it may also lead to a damage to a liver. Okay, so the central nervous system, the brain, the performance is going to be damaged, and the liver is also going to be damaged, and the liver damage may also even progress up to a end stage liver damage. End stage, barabar છે, a full damage, and that is end stage liver damage is called as cirrhosis. Okay, so when a person starts to drink alcohol heavily or in a very large amount, then it may affect the central nervous system or damages the central nervous system and the liver damage. This central nervous system and the liver damage ultimately may lead to a coma and a death. Okay, so this is also happens. So in adolescent age group, the alcohol consumptions may lead to a heavy drinking during their adulthood. Okay, and these are their effects. Now another effects or another misuse of drugs and alcohol that is done by certain sports person. Okay, the sports person, they misuse certain drugs. Like certain drugs of which category? They use narcotic analgesics. Okay, they use steroids. They use diuretics, or they use certain hormones. These are the medicines which are available in market for treating certain diseases and the disorders. Okay, or to relieve the certain conditions. These are the medicines which are available in market. But certain sports person misuse these drugs. Which drugs? Narcotic analgesics, steroids, diuretics, and certain hormones. Why they are misusing? They are misusing it for there is an increase in muscle mass and bulk. They also use it to develop the aggressiveness and ultimately the performance in the sport gets increased. These are the reason why they are taking, why the sports person they are misusing. I am using the word misuse these drugs for to improve their performance into a sports. Okay, there is an increase in muscle mass and bulk, there is an aggressiveness and to increase the performance in a sports. But when these drugs they are taken or they are misused, then it has very harmful effect on the body. Okay, so let's discuss when the sports person misuse these drugs, what are the harmful effects they have produced on the body. So let's start. What are the effects they are going to be observed into on females? Okay, when the female sport person they consume such kind of a drug, what are the effects they are going to be observed? Okay, first is masculinization. Means a male like muscles are going to be developed into a female. That is opposite characteristic of in a female. Okay, that is observed. It's called as a masculinization. That is observed. It may causes the depression. The long term use they may develop a depression. Okay, it may also lead to a development of facial and body hair. Okay, there is a development of a hairs on the body and face of a female, right? Okay, so this is also against the characteristic of a female, okay, that is observed. There is also enlargement of clitoris. This is observed, okay. It may also leads to a deepening of voice. It may also leads to a irregular menstrual cycle. So these are the effects which are going to be observed when a female sports person misuse such category of a drug. Okay, commonly what we call it them as steroids. Okay, but it may be of narcotic analgesics, steroids, diuretics, and certain hormones. In female, such kind of a characteristic are developed, like masculinization, depression, development of a hair on the face and body, enlargement of clitoris, a deepening of voice, and irregular menstrual cycle is observed in female. Okay, in a male, similarly, even the male, when they are consuming these drugs or this category of a drugs, okay, or misuse it, then also a certain kind of a characteristics are developed in a male also. The male may develop the acne all over the faces and the body, that is going to be developed with the use of this or misuse by this drug. Okay, there is also development, you can say that enlargement of breast or mammary gland, that is also observed into a male. Okay, that is again a opposite sexual characteristic observed into a male. That may also leads to a enlargement of prostate gland. Okay, it may also leads to a, like this in female, it may also leads to a depression. Okay, there is also a chances of damage to a liver and kidney. So it may also leads to a liver and kidney dysfunction. Okay, so these are the effects which are going to be observed in case of a male. Okay, male may also develop acne all over the face and body, enlargement of a mammary gland, enlargement of a prostate gland, depression, liver and kidney damage. These are the possible effects they are going to be observed into a male. Okay, so even the sports person should not have to use such category of a drug, or they don't have to misuse this drug. Even if they misuse and they become habituated, they also show such kind of effects. When the use of this drug has been started during the adolescent period, that's a 12 to 18 years of age, that is again a growing phase, okay, or the growth phase. When the person starts to consume this drug during the adolescent phase, then it may lead to a stunted growth. The growth gets limited, their bone becomes a limited in growth, and further growth does not occur. They becomes a mature earlier, okay, instead of becoming a mature at 16, 18, they become a mature at earlier age, and when they become a mature at very early age, that growth is going to be stunted or the growth is going to be hindered. Okay, so the adolescent should never consume this drug even in the for a sports purpose. Okay, so when the sports person starts to misuse, even in them the effects are also going to be observed. Okay, so that's all about the effects of drugs and alcohol abuse in different category of people. So what we have done today, we have learned the effects of drugs and alcohol on immediate basis. We have learned the effects of drugs and alcohol when it is done in overdosage. We have also learned when the drug and alcohol consumed, what happens very far, like stealing and illegal activities that might going to be happen. Okay, we have also discussed when a person starts to consume alcohol during the adolescent period, it may lead to a heavy drinking during the adult period and may damage the central nervous system and liver. And even the sports person, when misuse the drug, they also have effects. Okay. Okay, so that's all about the effects of drugs and alcohol abuse. Okay, in the next session we will learn how to prevent and control this alcohol and drug abuse. Okay, because the prevention is better than cure. We make the people aware and we stop them to consume this drug because it has very harmful effects on the body as well as a family and a society. So that's why we have to control it, and how we can control it, that we will discuss in the next session. Okay, students, till then keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.